Once you get to walk 2 moons, click on the book and then click on read. It'll take you to the story.
Library. 140 what?
I don't think that's right. Did you find it? In this book, it's page 1. I don't know what page is in there. That's why I said go to this one.
Hartman, let me put in the chat. Oh, I found it.
What page is it?
149.
149. It is 148. Yep. Got it.
Okay.
Everybody good? Find it?
Somebody put in the
Yes.
chat.
And you're going to read. There you go. Alright, so a little background knowledge about the story. Okay? We're only going to read one chapter of this book. Alright, we're only reading one chapter. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to infer what's happening in this one chapter. It's chapter 17, so a lot of stuff probably happened between chapter 1 and 16 we don't know about. But this is going to give us a little background of what's going to happen as we read the chapter. It says, on a trip with her grandparents, Salamanca, or Sal, Salamanca is a little funny name, long to say, tells them the story of her best friend Phoebe Winterbottom. Sal met Phoebe when she and her father left their farm in Kentucky and moved to Ohio. Where Margaret Cadavere lives, Sal's father befriended Margaret after her mother disappeared. Phoebe is certain that Miss Cadavere, who lives next door to her family, is somehow sinister and is responsible for the strange notes that appear on her family's doorstep. Sinister. What do y'all think sinister means? Think about the next sentence. Sinister. Responsible for the strange notes that appear on her family's doorstep.
Strange.
Strange. Good. What else? Huh? Somebody said something. Suspicious. Very good. Suspicious. That's pretty much what sinister means. Little strange, suspicious acting. Alright. They wind up having a magical effect on the grief that surrounds Phoebe's mother and helps Sal understand her own identity. So these notes have some kind of magical effect on the grief surrounding her mother, which is Miss Winterbottom. Okay? They talk about a lot about Miss Winterbottom and Phoebe in the chapter we're reading about. This is a beloved classic, a novel by Sharon Creech, written in 1945. What year was it written, AJ?
Huh?
What year was it written?
Huh?
That's right, boy, you ain't listening to me. 1945.
No,
Pay attention.
I was writing.
All right. Numerous awards, Newbery Medal winner. All right, everybody ready? We're going to read along. Okay, chapter 17, basically, the name of it is In the Course of a Lifetime. A few days after Phoebe and I had seen Mr. Berkway and Miss Cadavere whacking away at the rhododendron. Okay, weird word, right? First time I read this, we had to look it up, and it's this big flowered bush that kind of grows real crazy. So they're whacking away at this big bush. That's what that word means. I walked home with Phoebe after school. She was as crotchety and sullen as a three-legged mule, and I was not quite sure why. What do y'all think crotchety means? Mad? Grumpy? Upset? What does sullen mean? I'm feeling sullen today. Sullen? Anybody?
Under the weather.
Under the weather, maybe?
Sad. Depressed.
What you say?
Sad.
Sad. Sullen's basically sad. So she's a little bit grouchy and sad at the same time. As a three-legged mule. Three-legged mule, what is that?
No.
It is an animal, but it's also something I talked about in your read classes. Metaphor? Right?
Oh.
Yeah? Crouching and so on is a three-legged mule, like a metaphor? Alright. She had been asking me why I had not said anything to my father about Miss Cadavere and Mr. Berkway. I told her that I was waiting for the right time. Your father was over there yesterday, Phoebe said. I saw him. You better watch out. What would you do if Miss Cadavere chopped up your father? Would you go live with your mother?
No.
Okay, so remember the background here. It's talking about Miss Catavere. They think she's something sinister, right? Now she's saying that she might chop up your dad. So her dad may be over there snooping around. I don't really know. From only one chapter, it's kind of hard to tell. But supposedly he was over there yesterday. He might chop her up, or maybe he's friends with her, something like that. So if you chopped up your father, would you go live with your mother? It surprised me when she said that, reminding me that I had told Phoebe nothing about my mother. Yes, I suppose I'd go live with her. That was impossible, and I knew it. But for some reason, I could not tell Phoebe that, so I lied. Phoebe's mother was sitting at the kitchen table when we walked in. In front of her was a pan of burned brownies. She blew her nose. "Oh, sweetie," she said, "you startled me. How was it?" "How was what?" Phoebe asked. "Why, sweetie, school, of course. How was it? How were your classes?" "Okay. Just okay?" Miss Winterbottom suddenly leaned over and kissed Phoebe's cheek. "I'm not a baby, you know," Phoebe said, wiping off the kiss. Miss Winterbottom stabbed the brownies with a knife. "Want one?" she asked. "Gonna burn," Phoebe said. "Besides, I'm fat." "Oh, sweetie, you're not fat," Miss Winterbottom said. "I am." "No, you're not." "I am. Phoebe shouted at her mother. "You don't have to bake things for me. I'm too fat, and you don't have to wait here for me to come home. I'm 13 now." Phoebe marched upstairs. Miss Winterbottom offered me a brownie, so I sat down at the table. What I started doing was remembering the day before my mother left. I did not know it was going to be her last day at home. Several times that day, my mother asked me if I wanted to walk up the fields with her. It was drizzling outside, and I was cleaning out my desk, and I just did not feel like going. "Maybe later," I kept saying.